Responsiveness is about showing kids they're seen and heard, even when they can't express themselves in words. This responsiveness goes to how you communicate with children verbally, but it also is how you respond to the messages behind their behaviors. Responsiveness is really about being attuned to a child's needs and responding to their verbal and nonverbal cues. It means validating a child's feelings and addressing the underlying message behind their behavior. The number one workshop that I lead, that I designed, is called From Chaos to Calm, and it's effective strategies for handling difficult behaviors. In that training, I use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to talk about what could be going on underneath a child's disruptive behaviors. If you know about Maslow's hierarchy, or even if you don't, let me just give you a really quick overview. Basically, it's this layering of needs, and no one can move to the next layer, the next higher layer of needs, until they've taken care of the needs that are lower, the lower level needs. At the bottom of this hierarchy are what are called physiological needs. That's things like food, water, warmth, and rest. Food, water, warmth, and rest. And what I say in that training is, if a child is hot, hungry, cold, or tired, thinking about food, water, warmth, and rest, if a child is hot, hungry, cold, or tired, that is the reason for their disruptive behavior. It is not that little Timmy took their toy. It is not that they just got in trouble. It is not that they're not getting extra playtime. It is that they are hot, hungry, cold, or tired. That is the reason for their behavior. And if you look at them and you say, how could you do this thing without addressing them being hot, hungry, cold, or tired, then another disruptive behavior is going to pop up later because the child is still hot, hungry, cold, or tired. The reason for that is because for young children, behaviors are really their natural language. Kids don't have the part of the brain that helps us as adults deal with language. Young children don't have a strong connection to that part of their brain. So they have to show us rather than tell us how they're feeling and what's going on in their mind. They can't just come to us and say, I'm feeling rather tired. May I lay down now? They just have to go, and then we have to look at them and be like, oh my goodness, I think they need to put their head down. I think they need a break. And it's not about responding to the behavior. That's not what responsiveness is. Responsiveness is about figuring out what's underneath the behavior and responding to that. And when it does come to verbal communication, it is about being someone that the child can share with, that they can openly share with. I've had many adults who have told me one of their frustrations or one of the things that concerns them is that their child talks to them very little, that their child doesn't communicate with them very much. But then they'll tell me about, they said that they were having a fight with their friend, and so I told them that they needed to do this or that or whatever, and I have to respond to the adult and say, maybe they just wanted you to be there for them. Maybe they just wanted you to respond to how they were feeling, not responding and trying to fix the situation for them. They were looking for validation, not necessarily advice. And that's what that responsiveness means. It doesn't mean that you are offering advice and that you are telling the child what they should have done, but it means that they know that they can tell you about things, and when they tell you about things, you will respond in a way that shows you care about what they said. Or for young children, that they know that it's okay for them to show you how they're feeling, and when they show you how they're feeling, that you will respond in a way that is saying, hey, I see what you were trying to say to me. That is what that responsiveness means. For instance, that correcting a behavior without addressing the root cause of where the behavior come from can lead to frustration and disconnection with a child. Let's say you know that the child was severely disappointed earlier in the day and they never said anything about it, and maybe there's no huge disruptive behavior, but when they got home, they threw a tantrum and they were doing things that you just did not like that they were doing. Do you respond to that behavior, or do you look at them and you say, hey, I know you had a really tough time earlier today. Can we talk about that some? Do they know that it's okay to share those things with you? And are you looking for what's going on underneath the behavior and responding, being responsive to that? Or are you just targeting behavior? Are you just trying to correct behavior or punish behavior or discipline? Or are you trying to listen to the message? Are you trying to see the message that the child is trying to send? Responding to that underlying message helps the child feel understood and supported. Now, responsiveness does not mean giving in to every demand. It doesn't mean that your child asks for a snack and you give them a snack right away. It doesn't mean that when they are doing something disruptive, you tell them that that is fine and that you are just going to take care of everything that is going on underneath and that you see the message they're trying to send. That is not what responsiveness is. It's about validating those emotions and validating the message they are trying to send, and then guiding them toward more appropriate ways to express themselves. Let's go back to that. Is the child hot, hungry, cold, or tired? If a child is hungry, and maybe they are able to verbally express that they are hungry, and they look at you and they say, I'm hungry, give me a snack right now. Give me a snack right now, or I hate you. You are the worst mommy, or you are the worst daddy, or you are the worst whatever you are. You are the worst, and I will hate you forever. You can look at them and you can say, hey, I know that you are really hungry and I would love to help you get a snack, but that's not the way to ask for it. But I would love to help you get a snack. Can you try again? Do you see how in this instance you have now responded to the underlying message? You have not just called them out and told them that they are this horrible person for the way that they tried to convey the message, which kids are not great at conveying the messages. They're learning how to do those things. But you have seen what is going on underneath the behavior, and you're not screaming at them for the words that they used, and you're not telling them, oh, well, fine then, I'm never giving you a snack. It's not any of that. It's just, hey, I know you're really hungry, and I know that that is why you said it the way that you said it, but try again, and I'd love to help you get a snack. That's it. Or if they say, I want a snack right now, and you don't have time to give them a snack, then you can point them to, well, let's say that they asked it in a more appropriate way, not demanded, I want a snack right now. But if they come to you and they say, I'm just so hungry, I need a snack, maybe you don't have time to make them a snack right now. Or maybe they are of an age that they can get or make their own snack. Then you can say, oh, I know you're really hungry. Here's some things that you can get. Here's something that you can make. It's about validating what they are saying or what they are trying to say or what they are showing or what they are trying to show, and guiding them toward appropriate ways that they can express themselves. Practically, this looks like acknowledging the child's feelings. This is one of the best things that you can do for a child, is really just to look at them and say, I see you're feeling blank. That's it. Just acknowledging that you see it. That if they're throwing a tantrum, that it's not, you better get yourself up off that floor. You can look at them, and maybe you are going to tell them they need to get themselves up off that floor. But first, you're going to tell them, I see the message you're trying to send. I know that you are really upset. You don't get to get the toy you want. I know that. This is not the way to show that you're feeling upset. You can tell me you're upset. This is not the way. Do you see how in that instance I have responded to the message of the tantrum, and I have told them that the tantrum is not acceptable? Both in the same thing. I have not called them out. I've not screamed at them. I've not told them that they are a little heathen for throwing a tantrum. I have said, I see that you're feeling really upset because of whatever the thing is. This isn't the way to get that, but I do know you're really upset. And it's okay to feel upset. I would love to help you, but you're not going to get the toy. Do you see? You are validating, you are acknowledging, you are letting the child express themselves, but you are also providing limits and providing boundaries, and you are saying, I see the message beneath that behavior. Another thing that you can do is sometimes children will ask for things or ask to talk when you're busy. And if you're busy, let them know that you'll make the time for it. You can say something like, I can't talk with you right now, but once I'm off the phone, I would love to check in with you. Or I can't talk right now, but I will check in after I've made dinner. Or I can't talk right now, but later tonight at this time, then we'll be able to talk. I recently had a conversation with a mom and actually her teenage daughter who was having really difficult time just getting along and communicating. And the thing I recommended to them was just to have time each day that was scheduled, where at this time each day they could just have conversation about what was going on, because the teenage daughter really wanted to be able to talk with mom. Mom didn't always have the time right then to listen to the daughter, and the mom wanted to listen, but sometimes the daughter would intrude on mom's work time and all of that. And so I said, why don't you just schedule a time, same time every day, as often, as consistently as you can make it. Maybe it's at dinner time or whatever it is, but the same time each day where you just have an hour to talk together. They started doing that, and both of them, at their next session that was 2 weeks later, both of them told me that they both felt like their communication had significantly improved. It's not about being right there jumping in, or if you're not the child's parent, it's not about getting into your car and rushing over the moment that they text you and say something happened. It's not that. But it is about saying, oh, well, next time I see you, I would love to talk about that. Or I'll be able to check in at this time. And then this responsiveness also means that you will respond to behaviors with empathy, with a desire to understand rather than just correct. It does not mean don't correct a child's behavior. It is important to discipline children, and that discipline doesn't mean punish, but it does mean to guide them. It is important to guide their behaviors to appropriate positive decisions. But if that's all you are doing and you miss the message of what they were trying to say, there will be that disconnect, and it will be hard for you to be the one for your child. Responsiveness is about tuning into a child's needs and responding thoughtfully. What's one way you've shown responsiveness recently? Share that in the comments.